Hey guys, Petko here. Today's video is a very special video. As you guys know, I've been working on a tier list for the past couple of already it's been 6 weeks for season 3, aka 9.2, and today we're gonna talk about healers. And before we begin, I would like to add some credibility towards my work. As you guys already know, I've been doing this for the past couple years, and this season has no difference. I've been myself 4 times in a row the rank 1 team in the world with different kind of players. You can take a look from the previous seasons, except this one, which I didn't play as much. I've been 4 times the highest Shaman in the world. I've been once the highest Lock in the world during BFA season 1. I've also been the highest Hunter in Europe during season 4 of BFA. Previous season as well, if you guys take a look, the rank 1 team in Europe with my Shaman. So overall, I had a broad experience with Mythic Plus. So you guys can at least trust me. I'm not like, kind of a random guy that never played Mythic Plus and out of nowhere decides to make a tier list, But anyway, hope you enjoyed the video. And at last, one small thing, if you have different opinion in mind, it's completely okay. No problem. Again, at the end of the day, I'm just a human. I could make mistakes, And if I am wrong, please let me know so we can take a look and fix it. Now, a big disclaimer. This tier list is based on the current tunings. Right now, it's the 17th of February, 2022. So in a week or 2 weeks from now, if there's any changes, I'm going to be updating the live tier list on my Discord and on ICVans again. So if you're curious for the most up-to-date version, because there might be some changes in the future, nobody knows if Blizzard are going to implement more changes. The best thing to do is check the ICVans post below, or just check my Discord. There's a section about tier lists. In case there's some new updates, it is possible, but unlikely. There are a few details that I usually take into consideration before I place a specific hitter in a specific slot. For example, HPS matters, DPS matters, survivability matters, utility, mobility. They all get into the consideration, and at the end they form kind of a final conclusion where the hitter or spec is going to be placed. That is pretty much how I do it for tanks and DPSs, as you guys are going to see in future videos. Starting at the very bottom, Mistweaver Monk once again. Now, why are Mistweavers at the very bottom? Few details, very important details. First of all, Mistweaver Monks are known to have extremely good HPS, meaning that if there's any dangerous situation in Mythic Plus, they will be likely be able to recover very well. Now, mana issues is definitely something on the table, but it's not as severe as, for example, their lack of damage reduction ability. Now, you could argue yes, but Cocoon, Life Cocoon could be actually pretty useful. The matter of fact is, it's not. Now, Life Cocoon is a good absorb shield, but it's not a damage reduction ability. They have nothing to prevent and reduce the upcoming damage towards somebody, which is a massive issue. That is something that I have been suggesting myself for quite a while. If they would have implemented something like that with the tier sets, then I could see, for example, Mistweaver being a lot more played. Honestly, that combined with mediocre damage, I could see Mistweaver becoming, or it is actually the worst hitter right now. I need to mention that their utility is actually pretty good, starting from leg sweep, and then they have Ring of Peace, which is pretty useful. Tiger Slush can be useful at some point, and obviously Mystic Touch, which is the biggest utility, pretty much increases your physical damage done by 5%. So if you're running a full physical comp, that could be pretty good. Also, you have stuff like paralysis, which could be pretty useful, and many more utilities to make sure that you help your team with it. At last, let's not mention Revival. Revival is kind of a mass dispel in a way, right? Let's say if you have bursting for the whole party, Revival, easy, right? Disappears. But all considered, definitely the least performing hitter as of now speaking. Next on the tier list, I'm gonna put on a B tier, Discipline Priest. Now that's a very interesting decision. Why is Disc Priest on the B tier list? Now previously they were ranked as A tier, one of the better hitters out there. Sadly, their tier set is not really impressive for Mythic Plus. That combined, for example, with not really amazing DPS as well, kind of average I would say. But the matter of fact is, recently Restoration Druid and also Holy Priest were buffed quite a lot, both the HPS and DPS, and that is what sets Disc slightly a bit behind. Also, to mention, Disc HPS is significantly less compared, for example, to Restoration Druid or Holy Priest, right, which are the hitters ranked above them. It's a lot more city reliant, right? So you kind of have to prepare for the upcoming damage. Although, to be honest with you, their utility is amazing. Like we talk about like pain suppression, which is again amazing utility for the not only your group but also your tank. And we talk about power word barrier, which is again massive DR. DR stands for damage reduction to the whole party. You get stuff like, for example, power infusion PI, which again it's mostly priest specific, which can be used also from your holy priest or just shadow priest, right? But still, PI is a definitely good external, which can boost somebody's DPS. You have stuff like mass dispel and power word fortitude, which is again the stamina buff. Generally, your utility toolkit is amazing. Now, I could say if their HPS was a bit higher or their DPS was a bit higher, I could see, for example, this climbing a lot higher. But I think right now they should be around B tier, pretty much. Now, following the A tier list, now those healers are very close together. Holy Priest, Restoration Druid, and what about it? It was very hard for me to rate all of them at the same time, but without further ado, I'm going to be putting Holy Priest at the bottom of A tier. Still, A tier is amazing. Now, previously known Holy Priests were like one of the lowest rank healers, starting with the beginning of the expansion and slowly climbing the rankings. DPS wise, they're amazing right now. With the recent buffs, HPS DPS wise, absolutely amazing. The only disadvantage again is being not having a damage reduction ability, just like Mr. Monk. However, if you spec Night Fae, you're able to have 20% DR. But if you don't play Night Fae, then you lose the boon from the Kyrian, which again, Kyrian is more DPS. So it's kind of like, it depends what you want to go for, right? Survivability, more damage, it depends on the group setup and also the key itself. But genuinely, both are pretty fine. Again, Priest utility is amazing. Again, Mass Spell, PI, Leap of Fate, Mind Suit. You have also Disease Dispel in case you miss Disease Dispel from your group. MD, aka Mass Dispel, can remove bursting, for example, or just Mass Dispel everybody. If you die, have a Spirit, which pretty much can heal everybody around, which is amazing, right? Mind Suit can be used for skipping. Again, this is a common trait of all the priests, not just like Holy Priest itself. As a Holy Priest, you have something as a talent called Censure, which is pretty much like a 4-second stun talent, which could be pretty useful like some very important mob you can stop with it, right? Genuinely, a lot more safer pick than Disc Priest in my opinion, especially with bugs. A lot more safe. Now, going back to the Resto Druid, I believe Resto Druid before the nerf, I had Resto Druid as the second best hitter. But Resto Druid, especially the Kyrian Bond, which was like the main build of Resto Druid, got significantly nerfed. And that definitely damaged them. Now they have an option to go either Necrolord or against a Kyrian, but I think Kyrian is significantly, in my opinion, stronger than Necrolord. Again, that is kind of subjective opinion. Again, Druid utility is amazing right now. Vortex, you have Iron Bark, which is like one of the shortest external defensive cooldowns with the minute and a half. Stamping Roar, Soot, Cyclone. You're very tanky as well from the bear. Your Barskin is like low city as well. You have also Combat Resurrection, which you are the only hitter with Combat Resurrection. So generally, I would say your damage profile looking pretty good. Your HPS is across the roof, amazing HPS. Like you're on par with like Holy Priests and Mistweaver monks, which is again amazing. Your mobility is also absolutely insane. So overall, I would say pretty solid hitter, especially if you pair that hitter with like a high DPS tank like Brewmaster Monk or Prot Paladin, right? Definitely amazing. Second to best hero in my opinion is going to be Holy Paladin. Again, this spec received a lot of nerfs, especially Vended Holy Paladin on the Ashen Hollow and their overall package, especially removing their last rank of Avenger Rat, which is their wings pretty much. But even with that, I don't think Holy Paladin is going to fall off how strong they are. Like their toolkit is amazing. Like they're the only hero with immunity. Outer Mastery also is a very strong party. Defensive is like a kind of a bubble, aka body from the Disc Priest, but it's very strong Outer Mastery. You have a Blessing of Sacrifice, you have a Blessing of Protection, Bob, Devotion Aura, which is passive DR to the whole party. Amazing. The only disadvantage is honestly HPS output of cooldowns, especially off Wings and off Ashen. Your HPS is very like raw, very like like you hit like a wet noodle. And also mobility, like Divine Steed is like your only way to go out of the pack, right? Pretty much the horse, and outside of that you're pretty immobile. Being melee is also pretty bad for hitter, because like there's some things that you cannot just have, like let's say frontals and stuff like that you cannot really avoid. So definitely a big question mark. Again, the DPS output of Holy Paladin, Holy Priest, and Restoration Druid are similar. The HPS, however, values, I believe that Holy Paladin is the least HPS performing healer among the 8 tier group, right? But utility-wise, I feel like Holy Paladin right now is slightly ahead in the current Mythic Plus meta, at least. Again, this could change in the future. If it does change, I'll let you know. At last, I have the best performing healer in Mythic Plus, that is Restoration Shaman. By far, right now, the best. Why is the best? Because they do insane DPS. Kyrian, especially Kyrian build is like amazing. Right now, the Vesper totem, like Raging Vesper Vortex, like a legendary, which is the Vesper pretty much totem, does insane damage. And that is only one legendary. And if you add another legendary, for example, Deep Tremor Totem, for example, or any other legendary combination, they will be insane. HPS profile insane, DPS across the roof, likely twice as much DPS as any other healer, pretty much, right? I expect some nerfs, honestly, on this spec. It's like by far the most astonishing right now. Also, you have insane utility. Cap Totem, which is pretty much the stun. Ankh, which is kind of cheated. You have a Spirit Link, which gives you DR plus like distribution of health. Tremor Totem. You have the Earth Elemental also as a safeguard if you need to. Clay Spirit also removes the curses onto the party. Generally, insane healer, high survivability, high mobility because we have a Spirit Focus Grace, high DPS, high HPS, you have everything. The only drawback that I could tell you right now that you might have is the not having a strong damage reduction ability to the party, except Spirit Link, which is only 10% DR. That is like the only drawback of the spec. Also, the tier set is not amazing for Mythic Plus. Not bad, but not amazing, right? That is also something worth mentioning. But other than that, you're amazing. Anyway, I hope you guys enjoyed the video. If you guys did like the video, make sure to subscribe and like the video. Many more content is coming towards YouTube, especially for 9.2, going forward to the next expansion as well. Very soon, expect tank tier list and DPS tier list. Peace out. I'll see you on Twitch.